Can I start the live stream thing on the Facebook one?
Yeah.
You're good? Who's watching this and sees it over on Facebook, we're just streaming this through an iPhone to Facebook, so head over to our YouTube channel to pick up the actual stream that has the real sounds and that, because otherwise you're not going to hear very much. So we're going to leave the Facebook one running just for a bit, but again, like, head over to our YouTube channel and check us out over there. You'll be able to hear things a lot clearer and a lot better. Otherwise it just sounds like you playing an unplugged electric right now.
Yeah, sounds like you were hearing the amp through the monitors from over there.
Gunnerman54, yo, what's going on? John Vogt, how you doing? Oh, Jake. Thanks, Jake.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I know how your ear works, so if it sounds good, then we know it does. John, nice. We're excited to get it to you, man.
I think Bruce is at least half responsible for it sounding good right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So what we were wanting to do tonight, the last live stream we did, obviously we took you guys through the Generator 120 Mark III, and that was kind of our launch night where we showed all of the new Mark III generators. And tonight we wanted to go a little bit deeper into the 100P. The vast majority of the videos and stuff like that that are out already, or actually all of the videos that are out already, are just focusing on the 120 right now. Mm-hmm. We did that on purpose, figuring that that would be kind of the best way to showcase like all of the voicing changes in that Dan had made in the generator lineup. And yeah, we've had a couple people asking though, just to have a little bit more in-depth look at the 100P and the 100R. So we're going to be doing that over the next couple of weeks. So tonight, yeah, we're going to go through the 100P. So the main things that changed between the Mark II series and the Mark III series, apart from the gate, the reverb, and the Torpedo Embedded that everybody knows, is that I'd say the biggest, like, just regular, like, tube amp upgrade, or I should say analog upgrade that got made, is that it moved from 2 channels, like 2 independent EQ channels, to 3. Yeah. So now you have kind of better control over the crunch sound and the clean sound to set them quite a bit, EQ quite a bit differently.
And they also both have different programmable features now that didn't lie there before, like the drive in channel 2, the drive boost, and then the wide setting in channel 1 as well are both new to that side of things.
Yeah, so right now Sammy was just like getting us kicked off there on channel 1 with the wide switch on. He's using a couple of Strymon pedals into the loop, but there's nothing else going to the amp. So he's got the timeline and the Big Sky running something.
Actually, I'll turn the Big Sky off, and the verb you're hearing there now with the delay is just the amp verb, so it's just the delay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And of course we're running, this is direct out from the Torpedo Embedded. It's running the stereo output from that right now as well. So let's go through each channel and just kind of go over, what you can do with this, so that give you guys a little bit of an idea. And then at any point throughout this, if you see us doing something and you want to see something more on a channel or anything, just shoot a comment through, and we're monitoring the comments to see what's going on.
I will say we're monitoring the YouTube comments, because I can see that there's Facebook comments coming in as well.
Yeah, and
if you have any questions that you want us to actually see,
yes,
we'll get it on the screen on the YouTube.
Literally, the Facebook comments are this tiny to us right now, and I can't really.
So
I'd also have to turn my head sideways.
If there's an in-depth question, head to the YouTube and type it in there, and we'll answer it right away for you. So.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so let's start off with channel 1 with the wide switch off, and let's kind of go through like what you can do and what the wide switch actually does.
So I'm going to turn the delay off, so now you're just hearing the Reverb on the amp itself. That's totally dry.
Yeah. I'll bring the Reverb back in. This is just the amps reverb. You can set the saturation level on the back of the amp with the pot that's on the back. So I actually don't know. Let me just check and see how it's set right now. It's pretty much right at noon.
Yeah, so that's something like the halfway.
Chris, the amp is not technically stereo. The output from the Torpedo Embedded is, so you can simulate stereo effects through the virtual cabinet system, or the Dyne-IR system. Which Dyne-IR, just for everybody who's not really familiar with it, is it's proprietary to TuneOuts, where it means dynamic IR. So instead of just having a static IR with 1 or 2 mics on a cabinet in one placement, you can actually switch your cabinets, change them around in the room. There's quite a bit that you can do with it. So change your microphones, add different verbs, add different EQs. So you can add the enhancer. There's a lot of stuff you can do.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's with the wide switch off.
Here's with the wide switch on.
I really like how it just feels so responsive. Like it's kind of like a high and a low boost. Like everything just feels so there. It just fans up a bit.
Chris, your other question, is it the same as the D20? No, it's not. So the voicing is different. The D20 is based off of the Dynamis, and the generator is the other line from our Pro Series lineup. For the Torpedo Embedded output as well, it's fairly similar. The difference is that the Pro Series, or like the Mark III generators, have stereo output from the Embedded, where the D20 is a mono output. So
Much more flexibility in the software for what we were talking about, yeah.
Joe Cox.
Well, yeah.
Good to see Joe. Yep. You should probably we should talk to Joe later on today about the fact that like Chicago deep dish pizza is better than New York pizza, and just see if he loses his mind.
I can't back that.
I know. Neither do I.
Joe, I'm on your side.
I actually can't.
He just says yo.
Yeah. John, are they still shipping out this week for pre-orders? That is our aim. We did have some stuff arrive about 2 weeks late because of couriers being late with all of the lockdowns everywhere. Like, in Canada, when stuff gets to Canada, it's instead of taking 2 or 3 days to get to the middle of the country to us, it's pretty much taking like anywhere between 6 and 10 days to get to us. So we're working on it. We will update everybody if there's going to be any delays. Gunner's asking for no effects.
I just turned it off. We're good.
Turn the reverb off. Yeah.
I got it. Sam, I'll buy you pizza next time, and Derek gets none.
I'm never coming back to New York then. So.
Yeah. Sweet.
Nice.
Corey.
Hey, Corey.
Painter guy.
Corey did blame the painters. Yeah, the powder coaters. We're a little bit late with some stuff, so Corey's a great friend who works for our powder coaters and does an amazing job on all of our stuff. So, yeah, play please.
Play please. We'll play. Yeah, let's go to channel 2. I think that's one that has changed quite a bit.
Yeah.
On this one.
With everything.
I like how now, like, I know we like very different tones. Like, I know you like a lot more of like a fat kind of rock mid-gate tone. I like the really kind of like single coily, and the channel now with the options with the drives and the bright switch hits pretty much every aspect of a mid-gain tone that we would want. Everything there.
Gain back. Cleans up. So it's a little more like a pushed clean.
Yeah.
Jason, yeah, man, it's good to see you. It's been a long time. I hope things are good out in Alberta, if that's where you're still at. Yeah, the amps are still made in Winnipeg, so or Ile de Chêne, so just outside of Winnipeg. Kyle's gonna be mad if you don't play some pop punk with that.
What's that?
Here, you have to know some sort of Blink-182 riff.
I was never a Blink kid. Sorry, Kyle. I was listening to some 41.
Oh, yeah? Well, you can play Sum 41.
I don't remember any. All right, so this is now on the red drive stage. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna quickly grab the Les Paul just so you can hear something with some depth, because I know that's kind of along the lines of what you want there. So this is the same channel we were just plugged into. No, attack riffs are not happening. Sorry, Kyle. So we're like nearing, not like metal gain, but like a nice like thick rock tone. Like that.
Kyle saying he didn't ask for these, but he's happier now. Rob, you know that I can't as well. Sean took it back. I'm very much sad now.
So yeah, as I was saying, like there's definitely like that side of the channel 2 now where it really does have that open. Put the bright switch on, says Dan. Okay, Dan.
I just did.
Jeez, you think you know this amp or something? Yeah, that feels great. So what I was saying, I'm quickly just gonna hit the mute and switch back to the Strat, because like with the bright switch, it really gets that twangy sound too. So there's a lot more flexibility I find than there was on this channel.
Yeah, well,
For
like,
sure.
yeah, we didn't have the drive levels at all.
That's the same sound. Like
Yeah.
with this. Flexible. Gives you more of the growly. Like a totally different vibe, yeah. Ah, that was terrible. Bend your too hard. Frick. Ah, there you go. I think everybody's done it like too many times.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the flexibility and the ease of flexibility with Channel 2, I think, is definitely a huge step on this amp.
Yeah.
What kind of reverb? So I guess the reverb on the amp.
It's a digital reverb.
Yeah.
It's the same one that we have in the Dynamis.
Yeah.
So
Same one.
it's kind of like, I think it's a medium decay, or, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a medium decay. You can set it a couple of different ways. Like on the Dynamis, you have like a short, a medium, and a long.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And with this one, it's just the main, like overall level on the back. Cool.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Yeah, we can move on
Shall
to.
we 3?
You know what? And here, the gate was on. So let's turn the gate off.
Nice is I don't really feel that much of a difference with it on or off.
No.
Like it doesn't feel like it's choking, and I mean Dan can elaborate on how it does that, but I remember when he was designing it, that was the main thing, is he didn't want a gate that actually sucked the sound out, and it very much is like that.
Yeah, and it's obviously a little bit noisier with single coils that you're using there.
Well, this is yeah, that's still not even really that bad.
No, and our like office here is not wired great, so it's generally pretty noisy, you know. Yeah. So.
Yeah, no, it's not. So like sustain-wise, sorry, I'm commenting on Alex saying the gate doesn't seem too intrusive. This is without the gate. And with the gate. It still rings out. How many
Rubber Baker tones?
Oh, there he is. What's up, Fluff?
Yeah, Rob asked how many virtual cabinets can it store. So it can store 32 virtual cabinets and like 128 presets. So a lot of sounds. Fluff, good to see you. Fluff can tell you guys he actually has the 100R right now. So he can probably comment to you guys about what he thinks, because I'm sure he's going to be having a video come fairly soon on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's grab the...
You want to do the Les Paul again?
For
Or the
channel
7
3,
string?
we'll start with the Les Paul, then we can flip to the 7 string so people can hear the chuggy chuggies.
Baker says there's only 2 tones, AC/DC and pentatonic.
If you learn to play an extreme song, then you've unlocked infinite, Rob. All right. Let's 3.
I think Fluff's going to be like super impressed that you're playing a Les Paul.
I guess.
Like,
I mean, it sounds awesome. That's what I'll say about it.
all right, yeah.
It's everything pretty much flat. Flip it a little bit. Let's turn it down just a touch. Do you got?
It's like, we'll get back to that in a little bit, Jason, and yeah.
Fluff says, does he know what to do with that thing?
Yeah.
It's a new, yeah, tune it exactly. That's a new interval song, Alex. Nines on it. I'm used to like 11s. Hitting her a little hard. Oh yeah, that pulled her right out of tune. I got the clip on quick. Left her up here. Yeah, this thing sounds really good. So channel 3 I find still has like the channel 3 sound. Like it's still very tight, very crisp, like, you know, good crisp, very clear. Much more like the modern.
Go watch on YouTube.
There he goes. Sorry, I'm just gonna turn this guy up. There we go. That G doesn't want to stay on.
Really?
It's all good. Get some heavier strings on there. So that was the blue aggression. I guess we'll just flip through them again so you can hear, but just the normal aggression. And then with the bright switch, so this is off. With it on. And I guess the fat switch is that's I guess kind of different on this. Like,
yeah,
I feel like this, like obviously the sound overall with any of the Revv stuff is just clarity, but I feel like this one with the fat switch does allow you to get much more into that like boomy bass sound.
There's more low end, and I feel like it adds a little bit more sag to it. Like,
yes, yeah, absolutely, which I think a lot of guys do want, and that was one of the things that Dan took into account when designing this channel. Let's put the fat switch on.
It's like if you roll the volume back a little.
Which knob is it? I don't own one of these. Turn the gate off? Yeah, exactly.
So this is on the 3rd channel, which is obviously meant to be the highest gain channel. So
Still backs off.
yeah.
Creamy sounding. Yeah.
Like your dad telling us that he taught us how to put like strings on securely. You haven't taught me anything, Bruce. That's why you still set up my guitars.
That's why we still, even if you did, you still do it better.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. For those who don't get that, my dad in the comments is a very, very good guitar tech. And
yes.
He does a lot of work for us.
Yeah.
And if he had done that, then maybe it wouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, for like, even for channel 3, which is very, that was with the red aggression too, actually. Like,
yeah.
Even if I turn the aggression down, you can still get kind of backed off. Oh, there you go. I think that's the cue to switch back to the Strat. Actually, let's do some.
You can do some 7
some
string.
7 stuff. Yeah, yeah. And don't ask me to play the song from the video, Kyle, because I don't remember it. It's all good. Oh man. Lead. For 9 minutes. No. It's crazy that it actually changes. I have no idea how they actually do that, but. That's without the gate. As soon as you put the gate on, it's like silent. So again, without the gate. With the gate. So yes, it chugs for whoever was requesting. If you haven't already said what cab are you using, we're actually using the stock 412, which is a Revv 412, and it comes stock on the amp with a 412, a 212, and a 112, and then a secondary setting of each that has Reverb built in, which you obviously can alter. Like you can change all that to your taste, but that's what it comes built in with.
And it's actually changing a little bit. Sorry, Kyle keeps posting there, and I'm supposed to remind you guys to smash that like button for us. It gets more people to join our stream here. Sean actually, he's built some new presets that, because this is one of the prototypes, I don't know if they're in here yet, but he's done a few different things. Like I know he's done one of the presets that has the twin tracker on it and some of the stuff like that. So it's, it's really great. So.
Yes.
So
yeah, you can get as in-depth as that if you want, but the stuff it comes with is very good. Like that, I guess Sean would have done all of this. Yeah.
Yep. So
that guy, he knows his stuff.
Chad, good to see you. First shipments or first orders are going to be shipping towards the end of this week, start of next week, by the look of it. Hopefully towards the end of this week.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're getting there.
So that's the 3 channels. One of the other things we want to go into next week, because we're just getting the final versions of like the Bluetooth remote and that from 2 Notes before everything ships. So next week we'll probably do another live stream where we do a little bit more of a deep dive into what you can all change with the Torpedo remote, because the amount of tone shaping you can do is really insane.
I remember we were testing that out like with the first few amps that we got built. It was just like people were walking by and I was like changing the cabs on my phone, just like what's happening? It's crazy how intuitive it is and how easy it was to get it running. So and you can store what market are we aiming the amp towards? It's really aimed towards any market. I mean, traditionally, a lot of metal guys have gravitated towards us. I'm not a metal guy at all. I mainly play Strats and Tellys and mainly play like blues and classic rocky type stuff. For me, like this second channel here is probably... Yeah. Give me a pick and also. You don't just want to play ACDC riffs all day?
Yeah.
Pick.
Yeah, you got something?
Yeah. Actually,
Yeah, goodbye, gate.
Yep. See you later. Yeah.
Opens up really nice. That's with the gain fairly high up. Like I would probably run it a little bit lower, like. Turn that off. Still break up nicely and like I should mention too that all of the momentary switches like the wide, the drive, and the aggression switches are also all foot switchable. So like if I wanted to change that stuff on the fly, I can start in like the first drive mode and then cycle through.
Switch without using MIDI, it still does have the programmable feature.
Yep.
And all of those, as Derek mentioned, are programmable. So you could actually program the foot switch in the amp just to memorize the settings that you use the most.
I don't want the gain, I want the reverb on.
Yeah. So that's a very useful feature as well. Kind of like your scroll mode and then the mode where you can save the presets that you want.
One day I'll learn to use a bar. Every now, like, I watch Sean all the time, and now I'm constantly like, how do, I'm not doing that.
How do?
Yeah, how do, Sean. Let's make it sound right. So also, like, for Jason, like, the difference between the way Sam and I play is obviously massive, and like, even how the third channel responds. That's obviously way more gain than I would play with, but like.
Andrew, yes, what you're hearing is actually the amp running through the two notes directly into our rig here. So you're not actually hearing a cab at all, you're just hearing the two notes.
I'm gonna give that back to you.
No, man, that sounds great. It's cool just hearing like different people play and how it responds, and that just really shows you the flexibility in itself. Cater to both sides.
Yeah, that's right.
And then, yeah, that's, I mean, again, even with the gate, you know, you still get a lot of the same.
We just did that, Jake. Where were you?
But here. So leaving the same settings with a bit of delay on it.
I'll even use this pick. It's really responsive, like. That's even with the gate on, like.
Yeah, and it's obviously with the volume rolled back choking a little bit, but the sustain is still there.
This guitar is also awesome.
I love this.
Yeah.
This is my go-to now when we're here.
Yeah. whatever,
just a
whatever you
delay.
go by. It's just a delay in the loop, nothing in front. So
This is without though. Oh,
yeah,
nothing in
and
front.
there's nothing in front to tighten it up. So this is straight. Cable into the guitar.
All the drive you need.
Yeah.
I guess technically with channel 2, there's like 9 drive stages now.
Yeah, well,
which is awesome.
Yeah, so on this amp, you'd have 8 different voices essentially, and then on the 120, you'd have like 11.
Yeah,
right?
Sorry, that was what I meant. 11
Yeah.
on the 120. Yeah, absolutely. That's
But
crazy.
yeah, a lot of different options. So, yeah. So, okay. Comments, any other questions or anything that anybody has, or anything you want to hear or you want to see that we haven't really covered? Like I said, I think the time it's going to take to go into just how much the Torpedo influences and shapes the sound, we pretty much have to do a stream where we're set up that we can share our screen to show you guys the Torpedo remote and what we're changing on it.
There's so much.
I grabbed the iPad to show you guys a little bit, but honestly, there's no way that I'm going to be able to hold it so you guys can see it well. I think we'll just wait till the next stream and make sure that we've got it piped right in. So, how much glass in that amp? So it's a Quad 6L6s in this one, and there are 4 12AX7 preamp tubes, I believe, or is it 5?
There's 4, and then there's
4.
there's 5, and then there's the effects tube.
There's no effects loop.
No, there's not. Okay.
It's not a tube. It's a solid state effects loop now.
Yeah. So I still think it's 5. But yeah. Well,
okay. Yeah. Kyle has a great point. Any questions about the difference between the Mark II and the Mark III? He wants to hear a Sabbath-y type song.
Oh man.
I don't know any Sabbath either.
I don't, but let's get her. I mean, let's see if we can get it.
Yeah, you need it a little fuzzier, right? Yeah, there you go. Turn the gate off. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. That's what happens when you turn the gain to 10 and turn the gate off. But again, that's what we were saying is like the Mark II, I guess this is one difference with the high gain channels at least, is the Mark II wouldn't really get that saggy at all, which is not like a bad thing. It sounds great, but for people who want the Sabbath type tone or like those more classic tones where there is a little less definition and more boom, this channel definitely does it a lot more than the previous model did. Yeah.
Marcel, how much time to create this amp? And please talk about each step. You have the wrong 2 guys on the live stream for that today. You need Dan to be here for that. I'm sure Dan is watching and can chime in, but I would say it took him 2 years to design the original Mark I Generator 120. And then for this amp, pretty much like right after NAMM, Dan's been working on it like anywhere between like 12 and 16 hours a day up until like last week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Literally,
like
up until when we started showing people what it sounded like. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even then, like, I mean, it is settled in now, but I feel like he's the kind of guy where he'll have like a finished product and then he'll think of something else and then we'll think of something. And then it's like all of this. Like, I don't want to even think of how many hours we've caused him by being like, oh, it could be a little more of this. And then he just is like in the den going at it. So,
I mean, the green channel, I thought the green channel on the original like prototype of the Mark III sounded good, and Dan was immediately like, nah, I'm not happy with it. I'm gonna make some changes. And and off he goes and keeps kind of keeps at it until till he calls me and he's like, all right, I'm happy. I'm gonna send it over to you guys to try out. And just so everybody knows how we're set up, especially with COVID, like Dan does all of our designing and is the genius behind everything Revv. And he literally works out of his like little lab in his basement. And this is where he comes up with all of the great stuff. And we handle, manufacturing and everything about 30 minutes away from where Dan lives. So when there isn't COVID, he's here a lot more. But right now, not so much.
Yeah.
Is there any major differences, or are there major differences between the 100P and the 120? Tonally, zero.
And that is different this time. Last time there was a difference.
Yes. Now the 100P and the 100R are actually 120 watt amps as well. Before they were actually just 100 watt amps. So now they use the exact same power section. Everything is identical, because that was always a major concern that people had, that, you know, they liked how the 100P sounded, but they weren't quite sure about the purple channel on the 120, because when Dan developed the 100P, we hadn't done a revision to the 120 at all when the 100P came out, and Dan is kind of like an eternal tweaker. Like, he will continue. I know that's the worst way to say it.
It's funny because I had the same reaction last time.
I know. Tinkerer. Yeah, tinkerer. He's never ever happy with how something sounds. Like, he always wants to try to do something better. Like, and that's why, in my opinion, we come out with really great products, because Dan is never satisfied with where he's at. Like, he's constantly wanting to learn something new. Like, he messaged me today saying that he's starting to learn DSP, and like, there's stuff that he wants to do that
the other day,
you know,
it was a drive pedal or a boost pedal that he's wanting to do. And what I like too is he always wants feedback, and that was actually going to lead into the question asking about the Mark IV, if what would be the changes. And it's kind of like, this is the result of his interaction with what people want as well, I would say. And at this point, I think everything that anyone could possibly have suggested or that he has thought of is in this.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
I feel like this is thus far pretty much everything that we could want in there.
Yeah, the main reason that we did the Mark III doesn't really have anything to do with like voicing changes and stuff like that. We would have just done a running revision change. So it would have been like a different letter. Like, you would have had a generator 120, Mark II, and then like revision E, you know, revision F, so, you know, anything kind of like that. And once we got the opportunity to partner with Two Notes for the Torpedo Embedded, that's where we were like, all right, this is something that is significant enough that, you know, it's worth completely redesigning the line of generators. And the Dynamis eventually will get an upgrade as well. Jason, you asked about revisions to the 740. There are none yet, but obviously there will be. I mean, we really believe in this kind of new market that we're really trying to help pioneer, of hybrid amps, is what we call them. So where we're combining analog tube technology with digital IR loading, or, you know, like the DynIR system and reactive load boxes that we're working with Two Notes on. So the 740 will obviously get updated at some point. It won't be till sometime like later in 2021, I would think. The Dynamis will be even longer behind that. So yeah, so there will be a new revision, but we'll see kind of when. As for the Mark IVs, like, it would really come down to if there was something or some sort of technology or something that we really felt that we were missing. And when we designed the Mark II, or when Dan designed the Mark II, I should say, we didn't do it. The Torpedo Embedded technology didn't exist. So the idea of putting the reverb in or putting a gate in, like, yeah, we had some people comment about that, but that would never have been enough for us to
justify like a full remodel.
Yeah, where something like the Torpedo Embedded really does bring this product into a completely different product class, in my opinion, because not that it sits above other amplifiers, but it just sits in a different category altogether, because now you're in a position that you can play your 100 watt or 120 watt head at home at night with kids sleeping, or with roommates sleeping, or your girlfriend or your wife or whatever, and you're not going to get in any trouble, and you can work on tracking your record. So, you know, especially right now, I mean, we're in we're in fairly significant lockdowns here, so it makes sense. So yeah,
I think also too, like that format, like most of what we had seen on our end and just around in general was in smaller formatted amps, and now there is like a full 4-channel full power head that functions as that, but also as a home recording device that's very useful. So
CS, I want to work at Revv Amps. Can I come work at Revv Amps with you guys, please? Yeah, Yeah, you know how to Tolex? Hey, we got a job for you if you're in Winnipeg and want to do Tolexing.
What's the difference in voicing from the MK2 purple channel? I think it's more flexible within the way that the channel responds. So you could get the same voicing. It's kind of like what we were talking about before with the SAG thing. It's like if you wanted just the super ultra tight voicing that it had, it's there. But the other, like the switchability on this and just the way it's voiced gives you a lot more flexibility. So I think that would be the biggest difference in the voicing, is that it's a lot more vast. There's a lot more you can do to shape it in whatever direction you want, as opposed to just having the channel 3 sound.
You want to hear the surf green telly in that amp? Yeah.
Is it here?
Well, he's talking about my bluesman back that's hiding back here.
Oh, it's chilling back there. I got the tuner if you need.
As long as you're gonna hate this, Jason, because it's got the Fishman Fluent stuff in it. So.
Well, that sounds great though.
Yeah, I know, but it's whether or not it's charged.
Actually, you know what? One second, I'm just gonna mute this. I should probably let you play that, to be honest, because you're gonna play it more like what he wants to hear. But
sure. Here, give me that pick that's behind you on that head, and you don't have to keep handing me a pick.
Sure. I'll give you the tuner as well.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Take a look at other questions here. Oh, sorry, I saw one before where it asked if there's a boost built in. There's not a volume boost built in, but it does have 2 master volumes, which are programmable in the footswitch. So if you wanted to, like that is a feature that's programmable when you're making your own presets. So if you wanted to have a second master a bit hotter, you could just save it in the preset that it would go to that volume setting. So yes, you can program it to do that. It's not specifically a boost, but you can, because why not?
Ooh.
I don't like that face.
It's winter in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bruce.
What do you mean, sorry? These are all coming to him in a week.
Okay.
What features are switchable programmable? Any of the push buttons. So if you look, you got the pre-post, gate, reverb, fat, cut, bright, the channels, the drive settings on the channel 2, all the aggression settings and the wide setting, as well as the cabinets. And the second volume setting and the effects loop. So there's a lot, and that's without actually getting into MIDI. Obviously, once you get into that, you can do even more, but that's just within the footswitch that it ships with.
So that's the clean channel. There's with the wide off. Here it is. Bring it on.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Okay, the second channel.
Different beast, yes, and that's what I love about this amp specifically. Covers everything. Adam, answering your question, I believe it will. I might have to clarify that. I think he was showing me that it will stay in the last setting you program on the amp when it's powered off, yes.
Yeah, and the default on the amp right now is set up that you can also assign like different dyne IRs or virtual cabinets, or if you load third-party IRs, you can assign a different IR to not just the different channels, but like the different aggression levels. I think pretty much to any momentary toggle function, to be honest, or momentary button. So say you guys wanted to do something where on the purple channel, on the red aggression, you also kicked in like the twin tracker, changed the reverb in the 2 notes room or the room reverb from 2 notes, and then also change the EQ and kind of use it as a boost. You'd be able to do that and save it as a preset. Right now, what it does is it keeps the same dyne IR or impulse response no matter what channel you're on. So the G20s, when we started shipping those, we actually pre-programmed a bunch of different dyne IRs or presets so that like when you're on like the red aggression level versus the blue aggression level, you might have a different like cabinet for that. So
Yeah, exactly.
so oh man, sorry.
It's all good. That one hasn't been restrung in a little bit.
It's also a half step down, which is probably not on purpose.
No, it just sunk into it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's easier to play this way.
Yeah.
So it's pretty bright with the.
I like the bright switch, yeah. It's real nice. But that's not like skanky spankiness.
Somebody's wanting to see how heavy it can go with the green channel.
With a telly.
Yeah. You want to try it?
Yeah.
I'll trade you.
Yeah. This is like the go-to NAMM guitar because it's been at like not every NAMM show.
These are WGS speakers, so it's the Revv cabinets that are modeled in the Tonal software are an ET90 and a Veteran 30 from WGS.
Sounds great. To see how loose it can go.
Yeah, you know what, Adam, we'll do that in a few minutes, though. We'll change guitars for that so that you can hear it with humbuckers, because if you want to hear how tight it is, I mean, that telly's not the best to do that. It's going to be noisy, so. What was the other one? Okay, so Mikey asked the difference between the P and the R model. So it's the difference of the purple channel or the red channel. So the best thing I can tell you to do is just go check out the last live stream that we did where we compared the two channels. We will do a live stream in the future where we have both amps, and Sam and I will sit down and we'll compare, the R and the P. So, yeah. Jason, this is probably my either favorite Telecaster or my second favorite one. I really love the white one that's on the wall. I don't know if you guys can see it. I don't know what you guys are seeing. The Fishman's actually died in it the other day, though, so I have to take a look at it and see what's wrong with it. But it's made by a company called E.B. Rooster out of Franklin, Tennessee area. It's really great. This Bluesman is awesome as well. The neck's a little more like a baseball bat on that than on the Rooster.
That, I was like, oh, I have to be an adult now.
Yeah, exactly. I have to actually play. So, yeah.
It's fighting you a little bit. Sorry, can I plug that in for 1 second?
Yeah.
He was just saying, hit the mute. He was just saying how heavy can the green channel go. And we
why don't you? Oh, you know what? Yeah, no, use that.
We'll do this 7 on that, but
there's also the Aristides behind you if you want to.
Yeah, we can grab that. I have a few of these, and I love them.
Yeah, Jason, the Fishman pickups are awesome. So I have them in this Aristides that he has here. That's what was in the 7-string he was playing. I've got it in both of my Telecasters that are here. This PRS back here has them. I've got a Les Paul that's got them in. I'm a huge fan of all of the Fishman Fluent stuff. Mostly the classics for humbuckers, and then the...
This thing's perfectly in tune.
Oh, yeah. It didn't shift.
Nope. Sorry.
Yeah, mostly the classics, and then otherwise the Greg Koch Gristle Kings, I think they're called. Gristle Tones? I don't remember.
I'm not sure.
The Greg Koch signature set is just killer. Is it?
So that's channel 2 still. Like I could use that like as a high gain tone if I wanted to.
Yeah, to me it reminds me of, I've got a really great 50 watt JCM 800, and it reminds me of my JCM 800 boosted. It's still a little more modern, because everything that we do is a little more modern than, rather than kind of vintagey sounding or feeling, but
yeah, it fills that but it fills the space of what that would be. It's less like tight and crunchy and saturated and more just like
yeah. I'm gonna roll you back. Turn all of this off. So now you wanted to hear the depth when you're chugging, right? that put it out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that'll pull the tuner out.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions or anything? Because we're probably going to wrap it up pretty soon here. And yeah, obviously, send us over some comments. Either go to our Facebook page or, comments on the video. Let us know what else you guys would like to see us doing. I mean, we've had several people ask about, comparing the red and the purples, like the 100R and the 100P. Price point for all of our American friends, they are $25.99 at Sweetwater, I believe.
Yep. Color choices, yes, there are Tolex options. I believe Kyle had shared them on our Facebook, if you want to check those out. If not, you can just shoot us a message and we can show you what's available for sure.
Yeah, I believe I just screwed that up, and I believe it's $26.99 now that I think about it. So I'm gonna get in so much trouble over that.
With yourself?
Yep. Yep. Tomorrow in our marketing meeting, I'll be like, hey, who's an idiot? Me.
Can you try it scooped? Sorry. Turn that delay off too, yeah. Yeah, it sounds. That's the third channel with the mids a little more scooped out and with the fat on, which still it's still there. It's still clear, but it's definitely more boomy. So it's a little more the mid,
yeah, it is $26.99. Sorry, guys. And the 120 is $32.99. It is available at most of your favorite major retailers. I think pretty much everywhere. Like Thomann has them listed now in Europe. There should be a lot of other European dealers adding them pretty soon. Long McQuaid has them for, I think, currently on special order. And then they should be having stock on them sometime in the new year. Yeah. And obviously Sweetwater and MFI, any of your kind of major guys in the US. Another thing I want to talk to you guys a little bit about, though, before we head out is with this year being, so different, like they just announced more lockdown measures, or I shouldn't say more lockdown measures, but extended lockdown measures where we are. And everybody's kind of feeling, kind of that this Christmas is going to kind of suck a little bit and that it's, not as, it's not going to be like any other Christmas that most of us have ever had. So we were thinking about like what we could do to try to have, a better holiday season and try to give you guys a better holiday season. So yes, Jason, Stan Guitars in Edmonton will be carrying them, and Adam, if you're in Australia, Better Music in Australia will have them in the new year as well. So for Christmas this year, we tried to come up with something a little bit fun and a little bit different for you guys. So yeah. So later on this week, we want you guys to check out our Facebook channel, and we're going to be doing Revv's 12 Days of Christmas, where I don't know if you guys really could see the stuff that's kind of in behind me, but there's a whole bunch of stuff with bows on it here right now that we're going to be doing a whole bunch of giveaways for you guys as we get closer to Christmas. And just as a, a big thank you to all of you guys about, for how much you guys have supported us this year. We've had an awesome year. Yeah, we were trying to think of what we could do that would give back a little bit. So there's going to be some really awesome prizes, and I can move out of the way so you guys can see, a significant number of them here, so you guys can see what we've all got.
Whole bunch of treats.
Yeah, so there's, a couple of amps, couple of pedals, some hoodies, a hockey jersey, some t-shirts, and some other merch, and some straps and stuff. So there will be more details about that coming on our social media in the next few days. But yeah, we're hoping that, we can do something to help spread a little Christmas cheer and have everybody have a better holiday season this year than, what it's been looking like for most people. Because Christmas this year really doesn't look the same for any of us, or whatever holiday you celebrate. Like, this holiday season is not like any other I've ever had in my life. So
nope.
Yeah, so we want to encourage everybody to stay safe and to
Stay home and play lots of music.
Yeah, stay home and play guitar, and we're hopefully going to send you, at least 12 of you guys, something fun to, either to wear or to play or something over the next little bit. So I think Thursday would be the day that I would definitely start watching our channel for how you can enter and what's all involved, and there will be a different prize every day. And then we'll be having another live stream next week to
keep her going.
Yeah.
Cover some of the topics you guys have asked about.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for coming out and for hanging out with us tonight and checking us out. I know we go a little bit long, and hopefully we'll find a way to not ramble on quite so much. And
it's tough when you're jamming on gear that we like playing on, man. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks so much, and be safe.
Take care, guys.